The new VQ35HR is more powerful, more fuel efficient and more responsive than the previous VQ35D. The engine has two inlet channels of equal length, each of which has its own air filter, and two throttle valves. The exhaust shafts received an electric drive for regulating the valve timing. In the new block, the cylinder diameter and piston stroke remained unchanged, but the connecting rods were lengthened and the block height was increased by 8.4 mm to reduce side loads. 80% of the internal components have been strengthened and redesigned for high RPM performance. The motor itself was installed 15 mm lower in order to lower the center of gravity. The new G37 Coupe began to be offered from August 2007 exclusively with a 3.7-liter 340 horsepower VQ37 VHR gasoline aspirator. This is the first Infiniti engine with Nissan's VVL variable valve timing. All models were equipped with a 5-speed automatic transmission. In addition, a 6-speed manual was also available, which is part of the optional sports package. In June 2009, the G37 convertible was added to the lineup. In the same year, the most powerful modification of the G37 sedan was also offered, and the 5-band automatic was replaced with a 7-speed one. Sedan and coupe began to be covered with a self-healing paintwork. In 2010, the V36 platform received numerous changes and improvements. At the end of 2010, the Infiniti G25 appeared with a small 2.5-liter petrol-aspirated VQ25HR. The G25 was intended to compete with entry-level luxury cars such as the Lexus IS 250, Audi A4 and BMW 328i. All engines are quite reliable and have a durable chain-type timing drive. However, some have to change the stretch timing chain after 150 to 200,000 kilometers. However, no systemic diseases can be traced. However, there are isolated cases of destruction of the intake camshaft and turning of the liners, the result of oil starvation. With a high degree of certainty, we can assume that the cause was careless maintenance and racing mode of operation. It is also worth noting individual episodes with cracking of the exhaust manifold. In addition, cuffs tan with age, and oil appears in the candle wells, mainly in the 5th and 6th cylinders. In the case of motors of the VQ series, there is one unpleasant feature. A paper gasket is installed under the oil channel cover, which squeezes out over time. As a result, the oil pressure on the camshaft solenoids drops. The camshafts start to work incorrectly, and the sensors fix errors P0011/P0021. After 2012, Nissan began to install a more durable metallized gasket. However, to get to it, you will have to remove the bumper, radiators, generator, air conditioning compressor, hydraulic booster, crankshaft pulley, engine front cover and timing chain. Until June 2009, the Infiniti G was equipped with a 5-speed Jacko automatic. The box is quite reliable, but after 200 to 300,000 kilometers slippage, shocks or a short-term loss of reverse gear may occur. All symptoms are harbingers of the approach of a major overhaul. One of the main causes of wear is insufficiently effective cooling of the transmission fluid, which overheats under high loads and loses its properties. The key to the longevity of the machine is a regular oil change in the box. The procedure should be carried out at least once every 60,000 kilometers. The same applies to the updated 7-speed automatic, which replaced the outdated 5 motor. Unfortunately, 7AT in conjunction with the VQ25HR, G25, received a lot of criticism. Owners note jolts or twitches. The desperate resorted to repairs, but after a while the unpleasant symptoms returned. The true cause of twitching in software errors. The Americans are more fortunate. Nissan, Infiniti, took care of its customers and released an updated software that fixes the problem. The main thing is not to neglect regular oil changes. This ailment is unfamiliar to owners of the G37, since paired with the VQ37 VHR, the 7-speed automatic works more easily. All-wheel drive versions of Infiniti use the Atessa ETS transmission, similar to the FX. Under normal conditions, The car is rear-wheel drive, and the front wheels are connected at the command of a 16-bit computer. Up to 50% of torque is sent to the front axle. No problems with the transmission were noted. Only at high mileage does natural wear of the crosses of the cardan shafts occur, after 200,000 kilometers. The Infiniti G uses steel-link multi-link suspension on both axles. Before all, after about 100 to 150,000 kilometers, the front lower arms give up. Shock absorbers also boast quite high endurance. However, front wheel bearings sometimes give up after 80 to 100,000 kilometers. Those who often look under the car may be alerted by smudges on the right side of the steering rack, which appear even before reaching the first 100,000 kilometers. After replacing the rail with a new one or bulkheads, the situation repeats. Experienced mechanics recommend ignoring the flaw, as well as a barely noticeable knock. The disease usually does not progress. Unfortunately, there are also minor defects that came as a complete surprise to owners of a premium brand car. For example, the skin of the steering wheel and lining on the door panels peeling off after 2 to 3 years. Over time, the automatic transmission panel overlay becomes overgrown with scratches. The leather on the chairs does not differ in particular wear resistance. In addition, the outer roller of the driver's seat quickly loses its shape. The plastic of the headlights, which becomes cloudy after 5 to 6 years of operation, is not happy either. Castles sometimes freeze over in winter. Trying to use extra force to open the doors causes the lock cable to come off. After the incident, you will have to sweat to open the doors. As for the electrics, there are no complaints. Unless the rear lights may go out due to a frayed electrical harness connecting the trunk lid and the body. And some glitches. A number of signaling devices light up are often caused by blown fuses or exhausted xenon ignition units. Infiniti G V36 coped with its task. Despite a number of minor shortcomings, it has become a worthy alternative to competitors from the big German 3. At least in terms of reliability, the Germans are not like the Japanese.